المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome again. Inshallah, now we will continue with the second official day of the conference and with our reminder, inshallah, until Isha, which is only around about 45 minutes, inshallah, so it will be a short one. And alhamdulillah, we have our guest here with us for the first time. We've been trying to get the Sheikh, may Allah reward him, for quite a time, but the Sheikh, may Allah bless him, is a bit busy. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He rewards him for his effort and to bless him and to bless his family and to increase him in knowledge. With us today, alhamdulillah, delivering the lecture, it will be our Sheikh, our Ustad, Dr. Muhammad Aqib, from the residents of Birmingham. And the Sheikh, with Allah's will, has gained ijazah in hadith. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed him with the company of great scholars of our time, the likes of Sheikh Wasiullah Abbas, who is the Mufti or Deputy Mufti of Mecca, and Professor at the University of Al-Qura in Saudi Arabia, and also Sheikh Hassan al-Rashid, who is one of the senior scholars of UK, and from the senior scholars and the students of Sheikh Ibn Baz rahimahullah. And alhamdulillah, it's an opportunity to have the Sheikh with us here today. And if the Sheikh can allow us as well to say that the Sheikh has a PhD walillah alhamd in medicine. And this is a beautiful example that shows to us guys who are living in such community that a person can have both. And in a sense that he has the normal worldly knowledge and at the same time the Islamic knowledge. So try to take a benefit from that, and at the same time try to listen to the lecture of the Sheikh as it will be in regards to the life and the story of Isa ibn Maryam alayhi salam, Prophet Isa alayhi salam, which is very important, especially towards the time of Christmas and this season. So فليتفضل الشيخ, we'll let the Sheikh inshallah speak. So we request everybody to have the etiquettes and the manners of learning, which is to be quiet. Barakallahu fikum.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in wa ba'd. Firstly, just to correct something that Aqib Nasser said, I don't have a PhD in medicine. In medicine, you become a doctor by getting a degree, which is MB, CHB or MBBS. So that's the degree I do have. And secondly, I'm not a sheikh, I'm just a brother like you brothers. And you've already been listening to the sheikhs, and inshallah we can just share some benefits that we find in the Book of Allah and the Sunnah of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So today I was asked to talk about the Islamic viewpoint on Isa ibn Maryam alayhi salam, the noble prophet and messenger Jesus. And the issue is topical because we are obviously in the season which the Christians celebrate what they call Christmas, which is nothing other than an innovated festival, which was innovated many hundreds of years after Isa alayhi salam, and was actually a result of polytheistic innovations entering into the religion. And we'll talk a little bit about that. And it's topical for that reason, also topical for the reason that unfortunately, as we have seen in current times, then this innovation of celebrating prophets and messengers' birthdays has crept into Islam as well. And we're seeing that it's growing and growing. So maybe inshallah we can come to some lessons from the story of Isa alayhi salam, which will help us in regards to practicing our Deen and the Sunnah of our Prophet ﷺ by learning the mistakes that the followers of Isa alayhi salam made. So firstly, we Muslims, where do we gain our belief in Isa alayhi salam from? Okay? And the general belief that the Muslims have in the messengers is included in the issues of Iman and Aqidah. And generally, the issues of Iman are things to do with the ghaib, the unseen. Okay? So what is it about our belief in the messengers which is to do with the unseen? Okay? Because everybody knows, for example, historically, that our Prophet Muhammad ﷺ existed. Likewise, the existence of Isa ﷺ is known widely across the world. It's known throughout the whole dunya that there was a person called Isa ﷺ who lived 2,000 years ago and who came with a message from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Likewise, we know about Musa ﷺ, Ibrahim ﷺ, etc. What is it then that makes this to do with the belief in the unseen? And that is that it isn't the belief in their existence alone, but it's the belief that they were messengers that were sent by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that is the issue that has to do with the they. So our beliefs concerning Isa ibn Maryam alayhi salam are those which are indicated from the wahi, from the revelation, from the book of Allah and from the sunnah of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So this is a quick summary of what we believe about Isa alayhi salam and what can be a sort of starting point where we have a discussion about this with Christians, for example, when we give them da'wah, is that we believe that Isa alayhi salam was one of the slaves of Allah. He was a slave and a servant and a creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he was one of his noble messengers. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent him to Bani Israel to call them to the tawheed of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to believe in Allah alone and to worship Allah alone. And we as Muslims, we respect and revere Isa alayhi salam. And we await his return to the earth. We await his second coming. And we as Muslims consider him to be one of the greatest of the messengers that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ever sent to mankind. And a Muslim never simply refers to him as Isa, but we always say alayhi salam. So this is the viewpoint that the Muslims have about Isa alayhi salam in a quick summary. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us in Surah Al-Saf, ayah number 6, وَإِذْ قَالَ عِيسَى ابْنُ مَرْيَمَ يَا بَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ إِنِّي رَسُولُ اللَّهِ إِلَيْكُمْ مُصَدِّقًا لِمَا بَيْنَ يَدَيَّ مِنَ التَّوْرَاةِ وَمُبَشِّرًا بِرَسُولٍ يَأْتِي مِنْ بَعْدِ اسْمُهُ أَحْمَدُ فَلَمَّا جَاءَهُمْ بِالْبَيِّنَاتِ قَالُوا هَذَا سِحْرٌ مُبِينٌ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, and remember when Isa, the son of Maryam, said, O children of Israel, I am the messenger of Allah unto you, confirming the Tawrat which came before me, and giving glad tidings of a messenger to come after me, whose name will be Ahmad. But when he came to them with clear proofs, meaning when Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam came to them with clear proofs, then these people, they said, this is plain magic. So this is a quick nutshell of the message and the mission of Isa alayhi salam, that he was sent as a messenger from Allah to the Bani Israel, to the Jews. And he came confirming the Tawrat which was with them, and he came also bringing glad tidings and prophecy of the coming of the final messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So he came preceding the final messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And also Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in Surah Al-Ma'idah, ayah number 72, وَقَالَ الْمَسِيحُ يَا بَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ عَبُدُوا اللَّهَ رَبِّي وَرَبَّكُمْ إِنَّهُ مَنْ يُشْرِكْ بِاللَّهِ فَقَدْ حَرَّمَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ الْجَنَّةَ وَمَأْوَاهُ النَّارُ وَمَا لِلظَّالِمِينَ مِنْ أَنصَارٍ. But the Masih, the Messiah, Isa alayhi salam, he said, O children of Israel, worship Allah, my Lord and your Lord. Verily, whoever sets up partners in worship with Allah, then Allah has forbidden paradise to him, and the fire will be his abode. And for the zalimun, the polytheists and the wrongdoers, there will be no helpers. So this is again a summary of the mission of Isa alayhi salam, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent him talking to Bani Israel, not to the whole of mankind, but to Bani Israel. And he ordered them with tawheed, that they should turn their worship to Allah. And he clarified to them that Allah is his Lord and their Lord as well. So there's no place for anyone to take him as the Lord. And then he clarified further that whoever sets up partners in worship with Allah, then Allah has forbidden paradise to that person. And instead, whoever is forbidden from paradise, they will be having their abode in the hellfire. And for those people, and Allah calls them zalimun, because they do the greatest dhulm, the dhulm azim, which is shirk, there will be no helpers. Okay, dhulm means, translated literally, is oppression, and one of the sort of technical meanings of it is to put something in other than its place. Okay, so dhulm, oppression, is when you put something in other than the rightful place that it belongs. Okay, and if you do that with the worship of Allah, you worship other than Allah, alongside Allah or instead of Allah, then you are doing the greatest dhulm that could be done. The greatest oppression that could be done is by you not recognizing the right of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Isa alayhi salam was, of course, not a god, nor a son of God, or anything like that that the Christians claim. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us this in the Quran, in Surah Ma'idah as well. لَقَدْ كَفَرَ الَّذِينَ قَالُوا إِنَّ اللَّهَ هُوَ الْمَسِيحُ ابْنُ مَرْيَمَ. Surely those who have disbelieved, who say that Allah is the Messiah, the son of Maryam. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us as well in Surah Tawbah, ayah number 30, that this shirk that they've done with the messengers is something that they've done before as well, the people have done before. And that the hearts of those people who do this kind of shirk, they resemble each other. So in Surah Tawbah, ayah number 30, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us, وَقَالَتِ الْيَهُودُ أُزَيْرٌ إِبْنُ اللَّهِ وَقَالَتِ النَّصَارَى الْمَسِيحُ ابْنُ اللَّهِ ذَلِكَ قَوْلُهُمْ بِأَفْوَاهِهِمْ يُضَاهِئُونَ قَوْلَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا مِنْ قَبْلِ قَاتَلَهُمُ اللَّهُ أَنَّى يُؤْفَكُونَ. And the Jews, they said that Uzair, Ezra, is the son of Allah. And the Christians, they say that the Messiah, the son of Mary, Al-Masih, he is the son of Allah. That is their saying with their mouths, and it's resembling the saying of those who disbelieved before them. And Allah's curse be upon them, how they are deluded away from the truth. Likewise, Isa alayhi salam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us the first words that he spoke. Isa alayhi salam, he spoke in the cradle, and we'll come to more about it. The first words, however, that Isa alayhi salam spoke, they freed him from this accusation that the people have started to make against him, that he is the son of Allah. He said, قَالَ إِنِّي عَبْدُ اللَّهِ آتَانِيَ الْكِتَابَ وَجَعَلَنِي نَبِيًّا. He, Isa alayhi salam, said, verily I am a slave of Allah. He has given me the scripture and made me a prophet. In Surah Maryam, ayah number 30. So we as Muslims, we believe that Isa alayhi salam was one of the creations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He was a slave of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and a messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala supported his messengership with miracles, which proved that he was speaking the truth. And during his mission, during the mission of Isa alayhi salam was given many miracles, many great and astounding miracles. And these are narrated in the Quran. So for example, in Surah Al Imran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us about some of these miracles, that Isa alayhi salam said, أَنِّي قَدْ جِئْتُكُمْ بِآيَاتٍ مِّن رَبِّكُمْ أَنِّي أَخْلُقُ لَكُم مِّنَ الطِّينِ كَهَيْئَةِ الطَّيْرِ فَأَنفُخُ فِيهِ فَيَكُونُ طَيْرًا بِإِذْنِ اللَّهِ وَأُبْرِئُ الْأَكْمَهَ وَالْأَبْرَصَ وَأُحْيِي الْمَوْتَ بِإِذْنِ اللَّهِ. I have come to you with a sign from your Lord. I make for you out of clay, as it were, the figure of a bird, and I breathe into it, and it becomes a bird by Allah's leave. And I heal the blind and the lepers, and I raise the dead by Allah's leave. So here, this Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us about some of the great miracles that Isa alayhi salam was sent with, to show the Jews, Bani Israel, that he is the messenger of Allah, that he has been sent to guide them back to the truth that they've been leaving. And one of those signs from Allah is that he would make, Isa alayhi salam would make out of clay the figure of a bird, and then blow into it, and by the permission of Allah, that bird would come to life. And they would see that. And likewise, by Allah's leave and Allah's permission, he would heal the blind and the lepers, and he would also raise the dead and bring them back to life. So these were great miracles. And these were things that the Jews at the time, they were sort of trying to do with black magic and other things like this. They've got a thing within their Jewish Kabbalah, which is about trying to bring dead things to life. And Isa alayhi salam came and he did this in front of them and showed them that this is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and not some of the things and the trickery that they're trying. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us also about some of the other miracles as well. One of those miracles was that he spoke in the cradle. He spoke as a baby. And that he also healed the blind and the sick, as well as reviving the dead. And the message that he carried and the fact that he brought a revelation from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us more about this in many places in the Quran. In Surah Ma'idah, ayah number 110, for example, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us, إِذْ قَالَ اللَّهُ يَا عِيسَى ابْنَ مَرْيَمَ اذْكُرْ نِعْمَتِي عَلَيْكَ وَعَلَى وَالِدَتِكَ إِذْ أَيَّدْتُكَ بِرُوحِ الْقُدُسِ تكلم الناس في المهد وكهلا وإذ علمتك الكتاب والحكمة والتوراة والإنجيل وإذ تخلق من الطين كهيئة الطير بإذني فتنفخ فيها فتكون طيرا بإذني وتبرئ الأكمه والأبرص بإذني وإذ تخرج الموت بإذني وإذ كففت بني إسرائيل عنك إذ جئتهم بالبينات فقال الذين كفروا منهم إن هذا إلا سحر مبين. Remember when Allah will say on the day of resurrection, O Isa, son of Maryam, remember my favor to you and to your mother, when I supported you with Ruhul Qudus, meaning Jibreel alayhi salam, so that you spoke to the people in the cradle and in maturity. And when I taught you writing and al-hikmah, and the Torah and the Injil, and when you made out of clay a figure like that of a bird by my permission, and you breathed into it and it became a bird by my permission. And you healed those who were born blind and the lepers by my permission. And when you brought forth the dead by my permission, and when I restrained the children of Israel from you, meaning when they resolved to kill you, as you came unto them with clear proofs, and the disbelievers among them said, this is nothing but evident magic. So here we're seeing some of the other miracles that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed Isa alayhi salam with and supported him with. And from those is that he spoke in the cradle. He was given revelation by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he was, this was the Injil. And likewise he was making these figures out of clay, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala caused to become birds. And he would be able to heal those who were born blind, and those who were lepers, and bring forth the dead as well. And also Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saved him from Bani Israel, who resolved to kill him. So Bani Israel had made a resolution that they would now, they couldn't face his message by any arguments or anything else, so they would kill him. So because of this, they made a big plot to kill him, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saved him from that plot by a miraculous means. So just to have a quick overview of the life of Isa alayhi salam, then his life began also miraculously, with a miraculous birth. And we as Muslims, we believe that Isa alayhi salam was born from his mother Maryam, who was a virgin, and there was no father. And that is something which is obviously normally impossible, but nothing is impossible for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When He wants something to be, He just says be, and it is. And the Quran is the only book which came and confirmed that Isa alayhi salam was born via this miraculous way, that he was born by this virgin birth. And the Quran has a whole surah dedicated to Maryam alayhi salam and her purity, and she is considered the most pure woman of the whole of creation. And she, Maryam, alayhi salam, she was the daughter of Imran, who was a pious and righteous man, and from the scholars of Bani Israel. And she herself, she strove extremely hard in worship, and she withdrew from the people, and she stayed in seclusion and worshipped Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala until there was no peer, there was no match for her in terms of the amount and the quality of the worship that she was doing for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent angels to her who gave her glad tidings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had chosen her. And then Isa alayhi salam was born from her miraculously, and this was done by the same power by which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had produced Adam alayhi salam. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created Adam alayhi salam without a father or a mother. And He created Isa alayhi salam with a mother and without a father. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions this in Surah Al Imran. He says, Inna mathala Isa inda Allahi ka mathali Adam. Khalaqahu min turabin thumma qala lahu kun fayakun. Verily the likeness of Isa alayhi salam before Allah is the likeness of Adam. He created him from dust, then He said to him, be, and he was. Okay, so this is the miraculous nature of the creation of Isa alayhi salam. Then the Quran has told us many details, and in the Quran and the Sunnah we find many details about the birth of Isa alayhi salam and the trials that his mother Maryam alayhi salam went through. Prior to that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us, إِذْ قَالَتِ الْمَلَائِكَةُ يَا مَرْيَمُ إِنَّ اللَّهَ يُبَشِّرُكِ بِكَلِمَةٍ مِنْهُ اسْمُهُ الْمَسِيحُ عِيسَى بْنُ مَرْيَمَ وَجِيهًا فِي الدُّنْيَا وَالْآخِرَةِ وَمِنَ الْمُقَرَّبِينَ. Remember when the angel said, O Maryam, verily Allah gives you the glad tidings of a word. From him, his name will be the Masih, Isa the son of Maryam, held in honor in this world and in the hereafter, and he will be one of those who are near to Allah. وَيُكَلِّمُ النَّاسَ فِي الْمَهْدِ وَكَحْلًا وَمِنَ الصَّالِحِينَ. And he will speak to the people in the cradle and in manhood, and he will be one of the righteous. قالت ربي أن يكون لي ولد ولم يمسسني بشر قال كذلك الله يخلق ما يشاء إذا قضى أمرا فإنما يقول له كن فيكون. She said, O my Lord, how shall I have a son when no man has touched me? He said, so it will be, for Allah creates what He wills. When He has decreed something, He says to it only be, and it is. So this is all in Surah Al Imran from ayahs number 45 to 47. So then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala caused Maryam alayhi salam to become pregnant with Isa alayhi salam, without any of the natural means of that at all. And so then Maryam alayhi salam, she had Isa alayhi salam, and that story is also mentioned in the Quran in detail. And then she came to her people, and she was carrying her baby, this newborn baby, her child Isa alayhi salam. And so her people, the Jews, when they saw her, they immediately started to think that she has done some terrible sin, and they started to denounce her. And she did not respond to them because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had instructed her to do, not to respond to them, but instead she indicated, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had instructed to her, that she should, when they make the accusation, she should just indicate towards the baby. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us about this, that فَأَتَتْ بِهِ قَوْمَهَا تَحْمِلُهُ قَالُوا يَا مَرْيَمُ لَقَدْ جِئْتِ شَيْئًا فَرِيًّا. Then she brought him, the baby, Isa alayhi salam, to her people, carrying him. They said, O Mary, indeed you have brought a thing which is fariya, which is a mighty bad thing. Ya ukhta Haruna, ma kana abuki imra'a sawin wa ma kanat ummuki baghiya. O sister of Harun, your father was not a man who used to commit adultery, nor was your mother an unchaste woman. فَأَشَارَتْ إِلَيْهِ قَالُوا كَيْفَ نُكَلِّمُ مَنْ كَانَ فِي الْمَهْدِ صَبِيًّا. Then she pointed to him, to the baby, to Isa alayhi salam, and they said, how can we talk to the one who is a child in the cradle? So this is all in Surah Maryam. Likewise then, Isa alayhi salam miraculously replied to them straight away. As soon as they said this, how can we talk to this one who is in the cradle, to this small baby? Why are you pointing us to the baby to answer the accusations that we're making? And then immediately Isa alayhi salam, by the permission of Allah, he responded to them, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, he said, قَالَ إِنِّي عَبْدُ اللَّهِ أَتَانِيَ الْكِتَابَ وَجَعَلَنِي نَبِيًّا. That he said, verily I am a slave of Allah, He has given me the scripture and made me a prophet. وَجَعَلَنِي مُبَارَكًا أَيْنَمَا كُنْتُ وَأَوْصَانِي بِالصَّلَاةِ وَالزَّكَاةِ مَا دُمْتُ حَيًّا. And He has made me blessed wherever I may be, and He has enjoined on me the prayer and the zakat as long as I live. وَبَرًّا بِوَالِدَتِي وَلَمْ يَجْعَلْنِي جَبَّارًا شَقِيًّا. And dutiful to my mother, and made me not arrogant or unblessed. وَالسَّلَامُ عَلَيَّ يَوْمَ وُلِدْتُ وَيَوْمَ أَمُوتُ وَيَوْمَ أُبْعَثُ حَيًّا. And salam be upon me the day I was born, the day I die, and the day I shall be raised alive again. Okay, so this is the message that Isa alayhi salam gave to his qawm, even from the cradle. Just one thing I want to mention here is the last ayah where Isa alayhi salam said that Salam be upon me the day I was born, the day I die, and the day I shall be raised alive. So some of the Christian missionaries and the Christian debaters, they take this ayah and they twist it. And they say that this ayah is accepting the crucifixion and the resurrection. And that this is showing the resurrection of Christ, like that they believe in. And the answer to them is that this is not the case, because if what they say is true, then this ayah should say that Salam be upon me the day that I was born, the day I died, the day I was resurrected, then the day I die again, then the day I'm resurrected again. Yeah? But it doesn't say that. It mentions what? Peace be upon me the day I was born. We know that day. And the day I die. Okay? That day is still to come. That day will still come, and we'll mention that. And the day that I shall be raised alive, meaning the day of judgment, when everybody will be raised alive. And it's important that we know these things, because sometimes these Christians, they bring these things and people get confused and they start to waver because of these arguments. But they're easily answered. And one thing that Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah said, which is relevant here, is that whenever the people of falsehood, any people of falsehood, whether they're Muslims who are upon innovations, or whether they are non-Muslims who are coming with falsehood from outside of the religion of Islam, whatever they bring as a proof for their falsehood, in that proof itself you will find the answer to that falsehood. That proof itself will contain indication against them and against the argument that they're bringing against the truth. So for example, here they bring this ayah. What answers them? The ayah answers them itself. Okay, and it does that consistently. So now, what was the mission of Isa alayhi salam? Obviously, the Christians, they have their own concept of this, and they believe completely different. They basically believe that all of the prophets and messengers that were sent all came with a certain mission. But then Isa alayhi salam came and brought something completely different. So all of the prophets and messengers were all telling them that there's only one Lord worthy of worship, and that he cannot have any offspring, he cannot have any partner, etc. And then they say that instead Isa alayhi salam's come and everything's changed now, suddenly he can now have a son, etc. And this is not the case. And neither did our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, nor did Isa alayhi salam come to change the basic aqidah of Islam. The aqidah of Islam has been the same. It's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us upon with Adam alayhi salam, and it's remained the same throughout all the ages. Every single prophet and messenger who has come with the same faith, the same aqidah, the same iman. The only thing that's been different is their shariahs have been different. Some of the laws and the rulings have been appropriate to their time and to their place and to their people that they were sent to. And our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was the only one who was sent to everyone, to all of the nations. And so his sharia is the one that abrogates all shariahs that have come before and is over all of them. So the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and no Isa alayhi salam came to change the basic aqidah of the belief in one God, which was brought by earlier prophets. But they came to confirm that belief and to renew that belief and bring people back onto that belief. And when Isa alayhi salam came, then Bani Israel had deviated from the straight path at that time. And they had overstepped the limits that Allah had set. And they had started to do wrong in the earth and spread corruption on the earth. And even to the extent that some of them started to even deny the life after death. They started to even deny that they will be resurrected and that they will be judged and reckoned and that there's any punishment in the next life. And they started to indulge in their desires without expecting to be brought to account. And this was the circumstance where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent to them Isa ibn Maryam as a messenger, and he taught him the Tawrat, which they had with them, and also the Injil. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us about this where he said, وَيُعَلِّمُهُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْحِكْمَةَ وَالتَّوْرَاةَ وَالْإِنْجِيلَ. And he will teach him, Allah will teach him, Isa alayhi salam, the book and the hikmah and the Tawrat and the Injil. And also Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us as well that he was وَرَسُولًا إِلَى بَنِي إِسْرَائِيل, and he will make him a messenger to the children of Israel. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed to Isa ibn Maryam the Injil, the Gospel. And that is not the same as the Gospel that we find today in the hands of the Christians. Rather, what the Sunnah has explained, what the scholars have explained with regards to the Injil, was that it was contained with the heart of Isa alayhi salam, and he would bring forth from it what was relevant for the people. And it was not written down in the form of a book in his lifetime. And afterwards people produced things with their own hands, and then they started saying that this is from Allah. And they started to lie against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and their motivations for that were worldly motivations. They wanted to get some share of the dunya by doing that. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us about, in Surah Ma'idah, about the Injil. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us, وَآتَيْنَاهُ الْإِنْجِيلَ فِيهِ هُدًى وَنُورٌ وَمُصَدِّقًا لِمَا بَيْنَ يَدَيْهِ مِنَ التَّوْرَاةِ وَهُدًى وَمَوْئِظَةً لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. And we gave him the Injil, in which was guidance and light and confirmation of the Torah that had come before it, and a guidance and an admonition for the pious people. And also, because he was a messenger and he was sent with his own book and with his own law, he also came and he changed some of the laws for Bani Israel. He came with the permission of Allah and the mission from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to permit to the Jews some of the things that had previously been forbidden to them. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us about this, and told us that Isa alayhi salam said to Bani Israel, وَمُصَدِّقًا لِمَا بَيْنَ يَدَيَّ مِنَ التَّوْرَاةِ وَلِأُحِلَّ لَكُمْ بَعْدَ الَّذِي حُرِّمَ عَلَيْكُمْ وَجِئْتُكُمْ بِآيَاتٍ مِّن رَبِّكُمْ فَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ وَأَطِيعُونَ. And I have come confirming that which was before me of the Torah, and to make lawful to you part of what had been forbidden to you. And I have come to you with proof from your Lord. So fear Allah and obey me. And this is in Surah Al Imran, ayah number 50. So this again shows us that Isa alayhi salam, he came and he confirmed what was there in terms of the Torah, and he also came with some things that were made lawful for Bani Israel. And he came with clear proof from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he told them that they have to fear Allah and they have to follow him. The only way of guidance in his time was that they had to follow Isa alayhi salam. There was no other way for them for guidance. And again, this is something that today's Christians, they bring some of the words that are similar in meaning to this from the Bible, and they say that the Isa alayhi salam said, for example, that I am the way and the truth, etc. And they say that this therefore means that everybody has to only follow Isa alayhi salam up until the Day of Judgment. That's not the case. That was for Bani Israel. And Isa alayhi salam himself told us that there would be a messenger after him. Okay? So when that messenger comes, then that messenger is the one that has to be followed. So Isa alayhi salam, he called the Bani Israel to worship Allah alone and to obey the rulings of the Torah and the Injil, and he debated with them and disputed with them and explained to them the error of their ways. But they reacted stubbornly. Don't forget that these people by this time had already been killing prophets that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had sent to them. So they were stubborn and they showed their disbelief among them. So Isa alayhi salam then asked the people that who will be my helpers in the cause of Allah. And then the disciples of Isa alayhi salam, they believed in him. And the reports are that their number was 12. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us about this. فَلَمَّا أَحَسَّ عِيسَى مِنْهُمُ الْكُفْرَ قَالَ مَنْ أَنصَارِي إِلَى اللَّهِ قَالَ الْحَوَارِيُّونَ نَحْنُ أَنصَارُ اللَّهِ آمَنَّا بِاللَّهِ وَاشْهَدْ بِأَنَّا مُسْلِمُونَ. Then when Isa alayhi salam came to know of their disbelief, he said, who will be my helpers in the cause of Allah? Then al-Hawariyun, the disciples, they said, we are the helpers of Allah. We believe in Allah and we bear witness that we are Muslims, that we are ones who submit to Allah. And they said, رَبَّنَا آمَنَّا بِمَا أَنزَلْتَ وَاتَّبَعْنَا الرَّسُولَ فَاكْتُبْنَا مَعَ الشَّاهِدِينَ. That our Lord, we have believed in what you have sent down and we follow the messenger. And so write us down among those who bear witness to the truth. And that's in Surah Al Imran, ayahs number 52 and 53. So this is when then Isa alayhi salam was supported by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with great miracles. So for example, he made the thing like the shape of a bird from clay and blew into it, and it became a bird. And he healed the blind and the leper. He brought the dead back to life. And he also did other miracles as well, such as telling people what they were eating in their homes and storing in their houses. And so this left them, the Jews at the time, with no argument against Isa alayhi salam. So they instead responded to that with hostility and enmity towards him, and they disbelieved in him, and they also made accusations and slander against his mother, Maryam alayhi salam. And when they saw that the ones who were inclining towards and believing in Isa alayhi salam were the most poor and weak in the society, and they were gathering around him, as is often the case with the truth, and most of the prophets and messengers were aided by the poor and the weak, they then decided to form a plot to kill him. And they themselves had no power at the time either. They were living in a state of subjugation under Roman rule. So they provoked the Roman emperors or the Roman Empire against Isa alayhi salam. And they made the governor of the area, the Roman governor, think that Isa alayhi salam was calling against the Roman Empire. So the governor therefore issued orders that Isa alayhi salam should be arrested and crucified. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saved him from that miraculously. And the way that this was done was that a certain hypocrite who had gone against Isa alayhi salam and betrayed Isa alayhi salam to the Romans, and could possibly be Judas, he was made to look like Isa alayhi salam. And instead he was taken and captured by the soldiers, and he was crucified in his place. So Isa alayhi salam, in our Aqidah and in our firm belief, and is confirmed by the Lord of the heavens and the earth, was not killed. Okay, Isa alayhi salam was not killed. He did not die. His enemies did not get any power over him, and Allah saved him from them and did not allow him to be humiliated. And sort of, if you look at the Christians and how they have the stories that they call the Passion stories, the stories of the crucifixion, it contains severe humiliation. It contains words of kufr. The person who was put onto the cross was screaming and asking, oh Lord, why have you forsaken me, etc. This is not befitting a messenger, and this did not happen at all. Rather, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saved him from all of that and raised him up to the heavens alive, and he is still alive. So the Quran tells us that he was not crucified. It only appeared to his enemies that he was, and instead that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had raised him up unto the heavens. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us about this in the Quran as well, in many places. وَقَوْلِهِمْ إِنَّا قَتَلْنَا الْمَسِيحَ عِيسَى بْنَ مَرْيَمَ رَسُولَ اللَّهِ وَمَا قَتَلُوهُ وَمَا صَلَبُوهُ وَلَكِنْ شُبِّهَ لَهُمْ وَإِنَّ الَّذِينَ اخْتَلَفُوا فِيهِ لَفِي شَكٍّ مِّنْهُ مَا لَهُمْ بِهِ مِنْ عِلْمٍ إِلَّا اتِّبَاعَ الظَّنِّ وَمَا قَتَلُوهُ يَقِينًا. And because of their saying in boast that we killed the Messiah, the Isa, the son of Maryam, the messenger of Allah, but they did not kill him, nor did they crucify him, but it appeared so to them. And the resemblance of Isa alayhi salam was put over another man, and those who differ therein are full of doubts. They have no certain knowledge, and they follow nothing but conjecture, for surely they killed him not. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, بَلْ رَفَعَهُ اللَّهُ إِلَيْهِ وَكَانَ اللَّهُ عَزِيزًا حَكِيمًا. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala raised him unto himself, and Allah is ever all-powerful and all-wise. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, إِذْ قَالَ اللَّهُ يَا عِيسَى إِنِّي مُتَوَفِّيكَ وَرَافِعُكَ إِلَيَّ وَمُطَهِّرُكَ مِنَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا وَجَاعِلُ الَّذِينَ اتَّبَعُوكَ فَوْقَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا إِلَى يَوْمِ الْقِيَامَةِ ثُمَّ إِلَيَّ مَرْجِعُكُمْ فَأَحْكُمُ بَيْنَكُمْ فِي مَا كُنْتُمْ فِيهِ تَخْتَلِفُونَ. And remember when Allah said, O Isa, I will take you and raise you to myself, and clear you of those who disbelieve, and I will make those who follow you superior to those who disbelieve in you, till the day of resurrection. Then you will return to me, and I will judge between you in the matters in which you used to dispute. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us that He told Isa alayhi salam, while Isa alayhi salam was still here on the earth, Allah will raise him up to Himself, and that when Isa alayhi salam has gone, those who believed in Isa alayhi salam will be given ascendancy and superiority over those people who disbelieved in him as well. And this is something which is miraculous. So after Isa alayhi salam was raised into the heavens, then the followers of Isa alayhi salam, then they split into different groups, and they became, the majority of them, misguided. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had taken a pledge from the Christians through Isa alayhi salam that they will follow Isa alayhi salam and they will follow that which he brought, but afterwards they changed and distorted that, and they differed and they turned away from that. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala therefore punished them in the world with enmity and hatred amongst them, and with torment then in the hereafter as well. And this is something which historically happened. You find, for example, the Christians purging other Christians, certain sects of Christians going out, hunting down and killing all the other sects of Christians. That's why, for example, you find the Dead Sea Scrolls where they were hidden, because the Christian sect had to hide, because this hatred that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sort of put upon them due to their evil was occurring between them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us, وَمِنَ الَّذِينَ قَالُوا إِنَّ نَصَارَى أَخَذْنَا مِيثَاقَهُمْ فَنَسُوا حَظًّا مِمَّا ذُكِّرُوا بِهِ فَأَغْرَيْنَا بَيْنَهُمُ الْعَدَاوَةَ وَالْبَغْضَاءَ إِلَى يَوْمِ الْقِيَامَةِ وَسَوْفَ يُنَبِّئُهُمُ اللَّهُ بِمَا كَانُوا يَصْنَعُونَ. And from those who call themselves Christians, we took their covenant, but they have abandoned a good part of the message that was sent to them. So we planted among them enmity and hatred till the day of resurrection, and Allah will inform them of what they used to do. That's Surah Al-Ma'idah, ayah number 14. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took the Masih, Isa ibn Maryam, up into heaven, then this is when the followers split. And they split mainly into three different groups. Some of them believed in him as he wanted to be believed, in what he was sent with, that he was a slave and a messenger of Allah, and the son of his female slave of Allah. And some of them instead exaggerated about him and made him the son of God, and some of them, they said that he was the third of a trinity. They made the trinity being God, the Holy Spirit, and Jesus. They made this. So this is how they, three of them split up. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described their statements in the Quran and refuted them and gave them the guidance. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for example, told us, ذَلِكَ عِيسَى ibn Maryam قَوْلَ الْحَقِّ الَّذِي فِيهِ يَمْتَرُونَ. That such is Isa, the son of Maryam, it is a statement of truth about which they doubt or dispute. مَا كَانَ لِلَّهِ أَن يَتَّخِذَ مِنْ وَلَدٍ سُبْحَانَهُ إِذَا قَضَى أَمْرًا فَإِنَّمَا يَقُولُ لَهُ كُنْ فَيَكُونُ. It befits not the majesty of Allah that he should beget a son. Glorified and exalted be he above all that they associate with him. When he decrees a thing, he only says to it, be, and it is. وَإِنَّ اللَّهَ رَبِّي وَرَبُّكُمْ فَاعْبُدُوهُ هَذَا صِرَاطٌ مُسْتَقِيمٌ. And Isa alayhi salam, he said, and verily Allah is my Lord and your Lord, so worship him alone. That is the straight path. فَاخْتَلَفَ الْأَحْزَابُ مِنْ بَيْنِهِمْ فَوَيْلٌ لِلَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا مِنْ مَشْهَدِ يَوْمٍ عَظِيمٍ. Then the sects differed about this. So woe unto the disbelievers from the meeting of a great day. So this great dispute continued among them, and that continued for nearly 300 years. And then one of the pagan kings entered into Christianity, a person who renamed himself Constantine, and he entered the Christian religion, and he changed and distorted the religion of Isa alayhi salam. And he added things to it, and he took things away from it. And there was a Council of Nicaea which was held in 325 AD, where they completely distorted the message of Isa alayhi salam. And this was the time they permitted pork, and they made statues and images in their churches, and they made shrines over the graves, and they made monasteries and monks and the monasticism, and they also added 10 days to the fasting, and they made lots of different changes. So the last thing I want to mention, just because we're running out of time, is that Isa alayhi salam foretold that our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam would come. So the true followers of Isa alayhi salam are the ones who follow Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us that he gave this message, like we said before. We brought the ayah from Surah Saf, ayah number 6, where he said, وَمُبَشِّرًا بِرَسُولٍ يَأْتِي مِنْ بَعْدِهِ إِسْمُهُ أَحْمَدٍ. And I am giving glad tidings of a messenger to come after me whose name will be Ahmad. So this is what happened, And the people who truly believed in Isa alayhi salam, they believed in Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam when he came. And from them, for example, there's the beautiful story of Salman Farsi radiallahu anhu, who went from a Persian, Magian, fire-worshipping background to living in Sham and following the ways of the Nasara, and then hearing from their leaders that another prophet is going to come. And he ended up in Arabia, and he saw the signs with the Prophet ﷺ, and he believed in the Prophet ﷺ and became one of his major companions. The last thing, say inshallah, is a hadith from Sahih Muslim and also Bukhari, but the wording is from Muslim. عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم والذي نفسي بيده لا يوشكن أن ينزل فيكم ابن مريم صلى الله عليه وسلم حكما مقسطا فيكسر الصليب ويقتل الخنزير ويضع الجزية ويفيد المال حتى لا يقبله أحد. Narrated from Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, by the one in whose hand is my soul, soon the son of Maryam will descend among you as a just judge. He will break the cross, and he will kill the pigs, and he will abolish the jizya, and money will become abundant until no one will accept it. So soon here means that it will happen soon and inevitably before the day of judgment. And means descend upon you means that Isa Islam will come among this ummah. He will come, he will descend, and he will be among this ummah. And he will come as a just judge. He will come and rule by this Sharia, the Sharia of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and this Sharia will remain and not be abrogated. And what it means by that he will break the cross and kill the pigs means that he will declare the falsities of the Christian religion as false and break the cross in a real sense, that it won't be worshipped and revered, and also their eating of pork, etc. will be stopped. He will abolish the jizya. Imam Nawawi said about this in his sharh of Sahih Muslim that the view of this is that Isa Islam will not accept the jizya from Ahlul Kitab, so, as Muslim rulers before are doing and have always done. But when he comes, they will be compelled to believe in him. And if they don't believe in him, then he will fight them. And money will become abundant in his time. And this is because of the justice that he will spread on the earth. Allah's blessings will descend, and there will be an absence of oppression and wrongdoing amongst the people. And the earth will then bring forth all of its treasures, and people will therefore not have the desire and the covetousness towards the wealth, and they will know that the hour is coming soon. And then Isa Islam will die, and the Muslims will offer the funeral prayer for him and bury him. So that's inshallah all we have time for. Just one quick thing to mention is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will cause Isa alayhi salam to disavow himself on the day of judgment from those who worshipped him. And likewise as well, an important thing to mention is that when Isa alayhi salam does return, one of the first jobs that he will do is he will kill the Dajjal, the Antichrist. So, subhanakallah wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.
Ahsanallahu alaykum, jazakallah khair. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that he rewards our Shaykh and to increase him in knowledge and to enlighten him. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us of those who hear the speech and follow by it. Inshallah, after Salat al-Isha, we will have a reminder by Shaykh Naveed.